I kind of have a long history with CU in that I did my undergraduate on the Boulder campus, did my master's program on the Denver campus, and then when I saw the position in pharmacy, I was really interested in that. Not knowing it, as I think a lot of people who don't have a background in pharmacy, don't have any idea what pharmacists do and what the education of pharmacists are. And so it was an education for me in realizing how valuable pharmacists are in healthcare.
I was dean of the School of Pharmacy from 1986 until 2006. And it was a wonderful day when Beverly was hired. She just brought something unique to our school.
I was on this big campus and I didn't know anybody, and they had programs specifically for Asian American, African American, Hispanic, and Native American students. They called the Education Opportunity Program. It was important to me before then, but I think that really solidified my understanding, my commitment, how important education is for people of color. When I interviewed for the position, I found out that there was a really strong commitment for diversity in the school, and there were scholarships that were available. There was a summer enrichment program.
I remember Beverly being super supportive as a student. I came in a little bit before school started in the summer for a summer program, and she was just incredible. And I remember taking a field trip with her and driving a van, and she had a group full of students that she was just working and counseling and working on us for admission to the school and to be successful during the program. So I just remember how warm and receptive she was, and just somebody that I could always go to for any assistance I needed, not just in that summer program, but then throughout the next 4 years that I was at the College of Pharmacy. And
Mr. Skaggs had pharmacies in parts of LA that were looted, and part of the rioting that occurred after the Rodney King beating. And rather than be upset about that and blame the community for that, he really took it to mean that he needed to do something about the individuals that lived in those communities.
I recall him asking me, is there anything the School of Pharmacy in Colorado could do to make many, many more minority pharmacists available to be employed in his chain of drugstore.
I received that scholarship, and it was the goal of the scholarship was to make sure pharmacists were able to graduate that represented the communities that they were serving.
Beverly was a key part of all of that. I don't think the program would have been nearly as successful without her direct involvement.
How welcoming. Like, I remember I used to call before I was moving. This was the first time I had ever moved away from home. So I'd call the office and, ask questions as an incoming student moving out of my house here for the first time in my life, and how nervous I was, and how nervous my mom and my dad were to let me go across state lines. And I remember I walked in that office, and just when I walked in and I started to speak, they totally called me by my name because they recognized my voice, because I had called so many times, and they were used to that, right? They were used to really connecting with students.
You really do have an impact on your environment and the people around you. You can't do things by yourself, and others can't do things without you. So I think that it's really important to remember that, and that there's this sort of connection with you and your environment. It's really important to remember. You can't escape. So then that's just sort of my life philosophy, is that you really have to there's this interdependence in life that you just have to accept and use.